Please, don't try anything that you're about to see us do at home. Ever.
On this icon-shattering 100th episode, it's us versus him.
That doesn't look like MacGyver with a mustache on it.
It looks a little like you.
MythBusters takes on MacGyver in a quest for truth, justice, and a half-decent haircut.
MacGyver's been MythBusters' sole brother since we started.
The man who could surely build a particle accelerator from old underpants and chewing gum is finally being put to the test. We're restaging the stunts everyone took for granted back in the 80s. Like blowing a hole in a wall with just 1 gram of pure sodium.
This is for love, money, and science.
We'll build and try to fly a full-scale bamboo airplane to see if MacGyver really could have flown an injured hostage to safety.
Here it comes!
Then Jamie and Adam face the ultimate Mac challenge, blindfolded.
Be smart, boys. Don't try to escape.
It's a 4-part battle of wits between our boys, the clock, 2 hysterical henchmen, and the TV legend that is MacGyver. Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage.
Smells like science.
And Jamie Heineman.
Mush.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
Arise, my son.
Joining them, Grant Imahara.
Warning.
Tori Belleci.
This seems like a really stupid idea.
And Carrie Byron.
That is messed up!
They don't just tell the myths,
Wow, I can feel the pressure.
they put them to the test.
The moment is finally here.
Indeed it is. It's the MythBusters MacGyver special.
It's time to take the antics of one Angus MacGyver, place him under the MythBusters microscope, and separate fact from fiction. Are you ready?
The fans begged for it, so we're doing it. Mac versus the MythBusters. He's one of the boys' all-time heroes. But there comes a time when the student must challenge the master.
Ask me why I'm swinging this bottle around.
Okay, why are you swinging this bottle around?
This has to do with the very first MacGyver myth we're actually testing, which we're calling sodium jailbreak.
In this episode, Mac needs a hole in a wall in a hurry. Knowing that alkaline metals react violently with water, he packs pure sodium inside a gel cap and drops it in a bottle filled with water. The capsule works like a fuse. By the time it dissolves, Mac and his special new friend have time to duck and cover. It's all very clever, but would it really work? Just to be safe, they wheel in a mobile, see-through laboratory for the small-scale tests.
Well, I pulled out the birds in a truck. It's got the whole clear side, and I'm going to park that outside Jamie's shop.
With Jamie scouting locations for the full-scale test, Tori volunteers to help Adam build the test rig. With a pulley, a weight,
Yeah, perfect.
a bowl of water, and a glass vial of metal sodium, Adam hopes to test the explosive potential without bringing the house down. They're using an open bowl of water, not a sealed bottle. So if there's any truth to this at all, we should get the show without the shrapnel.
I'll cut that string, break the glass that the sodium's in, release it into the water, and show us what happens.
Pure sodium is so volatile, it could even react with moisture in the air. So, better safe than singe.
That's why I am so well protected from any kind of splashback, toxicity, anything. Nothing can get inside my suit, and with the face shield on, I think I'm properly protected.
Giant banana number 2 reduces the risk by painting the tray with mineral oil. This gasoline byproduct stops alkali metals from reacting with atmospheric water.
Kind of like a cooking show, except it'll kill you.
Okay, so now it's sitting on the mineral oil. Everyone eyes open, this is for real. It's scary.
The sodium metal cuts just like butter.
Look at that!
Whoa!
That is far out.
So that, oh my gosh.
All right, so
That's just metal.
2 small slices make 1 thin gram. And that's exactly what MacGyver used to blow a hole in a wall.
1 gram of sodium. It looks so innocuous. It's part of table salt, for crying out loud.
Good luck.
I'll see you at the shield.
Be careful.
Hey, Adam's middle name is Careful. Then again, his last name is... Well, let's get on with it. They'll do this test twice. First, with the vial sitting on top of the water.
So this is sodium surface test in 3, 2, 1.
Wah, wah.
No, it's going to take a second. That was cool. It wasn't a single reaction. It was like a pow, pow, pow. which actually lends credence to the MacGyver clip in which there are 2 bangs, not just one.
But will this bonsai 4th of July ever be big enough to blow a man-sized hole through solid masonry? The boys repeat the test with a sodium vial immersed in water.
From what I understand from the science, being under the water is probably going to be less of a reaction than being on top of the water.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's find out.
This is sodium underwater. In 3, 2, 1. That looks like it worked.
Yeah. Whoa! That was a bigger one.
Yeah.
You have to wonder if Adam ever gets tired of being wrong. MacGyver got it right, and that's a good enough result for Jamie to call in the contractors.
Okay, you guys are gonna build a wall. We're gonna blow it up, but do a good job anyway. Let's go.
The scenery goes up in short time, and the stagehands await the star's brown carpet entrance. Today, the part of MacGyver will be played by Buster, once Jamie's made him decent. But pants don't always make the man. In this case, it's all about the hair.
That doesn't look like MacGyver with a mustache on it.
It looks a little like you.
Okay. Now, he buried the jar in the sand, right?
Yeah, but he kind of like, he did this, and then he did this.
Okay.
That kind of thing. So we just need a couple more bags that are cut open to make this look kind of good.
They've replicated the scene as best they can, but Adam's added a magnet to the trigger, so the boys can be sure they're safe behind the blast screen.
I put a little tiny bit of metal that will be in this pill in addition to the sodium. It's actually ferrous, which means it will be magnetized. I'll prep the sodium like this. I'll fill the bottle with water. When we're just about ready to go, I will carefully, ever so carefully, screw this down on top, retreat to behind the safety shield.
Then pull the magnet off the screw cap, dropping the pill in the water, and hopefully proving you can trust everything you see on TV. Next up, Carrie, Grant, and Tori try to emulate one of Mac's most ambitious ever builds.
MacGyver's gonna be so proud of us.
And they learn firsthand it's a long drop if they get it wrong.
Picture this. Mac G is stuck on a Colombian building site. Bad guys are approaching fast. He has to escape. What does he do? The only things around him, bamboo, duct tape, garbage bags, cement mixer.
What, no cars?
Conveniently no cars.
All right, so what does he do?
Wasn't it obvious? He builds an ultralight.
Given the right materials, there's almost no end to MacGyver's ingenuity.
You're doing good.
Imprisoned and surrounded, there's just one way to get the guy with a broken leg to freedom. Scratch build a 2-man airplane. They've seen how Mac did it, but it's worth giving some real ultralights the once-over.
I'm not sure if we have the right stuff. I just hope we don't have the wrong stuff.
Please take a moment to locate your emergency exits, keeping in mind that the emergency exits may be behind you.
One by one, Carrie, Grant, Tori, and their instructor pilots take to the air. Even by MythBusters' lofty standards, this is the thrill of a lifetime. But it's not just about the pilot. These frames are made from high-grade aluminum, not bamboo. The wings are made from nylon, not trash bags. And the engines are rated at 65 horsepower, 7 times more powerful than the motor Mac swiped from a cement mixer.
Oh my God.
Are they scared yet? You betcha.
That is cool! Yeah.
3 perfect 3-point landings.
Oh my God.
But they know this is as good as it gets. Our intrepid co-pilots can bet all their frequent flyer points that their MacGyver knockoff won't be quite so reliable.
I think if I've learned anything today, it's that this is a very masterful piece of equipment. And I don't know if I can build something in 4 hours that's going to do the same thing.
There's no way anyone can build a full-size working airplane in 4 hours, or like 4 days. Still, the MythBusters have all they need to build this baby MacGyver style.
I don't know if this thing's gonna fly, but it's definitely gonna stay together. I think we start building everything out of bamboo and duct tape.
Carrie's concerned that MacGyver's wings look too flat, not the classic airfoil shape that makes powered flight possible. She's also worried about the sheer size of Mac's rear end.
Everything I'm building is completely based on the measurements that MacGyver calls out. The 9x6 tailpieces look ridiculous. So in the spirit of MacGyverism, and to make this really work and give this any chance of flying, I'm going to slightly tweak the dimensions and make them proportional to an actual ultralight.
Meantime, Grant's found himself a puny 9-horsepower cement mixer engine, just like the one Mac used. And fitted a wooden propeller. At the very least, this mini motor needs to be strong enough to push the plane along the ground towards the cliff. But Mac faced the same problem. The cement mixer engine was too small to get him airborne. But once the plane dropped off the cliff, it did sustain flight. It's an added incentive to make sure this trash bag tricycle can at least glide to safety. And so far, it all seems to be working. The tape and wire connections are holding fast. And the moving parts are, well, moving.
I was a little unsure about the whole bamboo and duct tape construction, but after putting some of this together and seeing how sturdy it is, I'm feeling like it's going to be strong enough to hold up those wings.
But will the wings work?
Ta-da!
Perfect. Beautiful. I love it. It's going to work.
Carrie's bent some skinny bamboo to make an airfoil. But now she's had a crisis of confidence. Call it builder's remorse.
I have a feeling this thing is going to plummet to the ground like a rock. I went from totally optimistic to a little sketchy.
Tori's confident enough to set that front barrow wheel on the frame.
Straight enough.
While Carrie begins the long and laborious task of taping all that plastic to the bamboo frame. Finally, Tori bolts on the tiny engine.
Perfect.
The build has taken 3 and a bit days, not 4 hours. So that's one part of this MacGyver myth well and truly busted. Then there's that awkward pause when someone really should offer to fly the darn thing. No one does, and you can't blame them. So Grant rigs up an RC unit.
MacGyver was using his feet to steer the rudder, but since none of us are going to be able to fly it, I've got this radio control system here. And so I move the stick, it moves the servo, and these lines pull on the rudder, moving that back and forth.
This is a rare moment in MythBusters history. The whole build has gone off without a hitch.
It's not that heavy.
It's not breaking.
That's good.
Now all they have to do is make it fly.
MacGyver's going to be so proud of us.
Coming up, Adam and Jamie test their sodium explosive on the bomb range.
I think the wall might be gone.
And you can bet they won't be leaving until they're knee-deep in rubble. Adam and Jamie are testing an explosive MacGyver myth. That 1 gram of reactive sodium metal packed in a pill and dropped in water could blow through a wall.
3, 2, 1.
They huddle behind the blast shield, waiting for that gel cap to dissolve so the sodium hits the H2O.
In less than a minute, we should see something. 50 seconds. Should happen any second now. Isn't it always like this? 110.
So what are we going to do if it doesn't blow up?
I say we, wait the requisite 20 minutes and then approach it very cautiously.
After half an hour, there's nothing doing.
Pick your arm here.
So Jamie rents out the latest in this season's line of bomb suits.
I feel like I'm ready to go out clubbing.
One small step for a man, one giant chance for Adam to sully the moment.
It's not dissimilar from how Jimmy was dressed when he first came to Earth.
Odds are the reaction has occurred, but wasn't strong enough to break the bottle. Adam's already run some time trials to see just how long it takes a cap to dissolve in water. He filled this one with red pepper.
What we found on the show is that one of the most dangerous things that can happen is nothing.
And nothing is exactly what happened.
We're at almost half an hour and my gel cap still has not dissolved. That's going to be a long time for us to wait out on the site. So I'm going to try a second bottle full of hot tap water.
And that did the trick. Just 90 seconds later, catastrophic capsule failure.
It's just about to fail. There it goes.
They also used hot water on the bomb site, so surely Jamie's in no danger from a delayed reaction. Still, best policy is a quick prod with a hazmat-approved poking broom. It's not long before Adam gets the all clear.
Well, it certainly looks like some reaction has happened. I don't see any sodium, and we put it in there, so the reaction happened without breaking the bottle.
Sadly, this is just what they predicted.
We saw a reaction in the lab, and it looks good, but a lot of times a little smoke, a little pop, or a little poof is, it's more bark than bite.
Sorry, Mac, but 1 gram of pure sodium won't blow a hole through toilet paper. And we've still got a wall to destroy.
So what are we doing?
Well, we're going to try and blow another hole in the wall, except I'm going to use a lot more sodium and a much bigger pill.
What, is that for a horse?
It is, in fact, for a horse.
Adam packs his horse pill with 100 grams of sodium metal.
A lot of sodium.
If there's any truth to the TV myth, this should settle things once and for all.
It's a dangerous amount of sodium to put in water, so I'm expecting big things from this.
Aren't we all? And
2, 1. I hate this. Nothing's happening.
4.5 minutes later, the pill finally pops.
The point of failure was, of course, the wind. Whoa!
2 explosions. Still barely enough to uncap the bottle.
Look, that's what's left of the gelatin capsule. That was an explosion, but this is not a high explosive.
But Adam and Tori pre-tested another alkaline metal that's even more volatile than sodium. It's called potassium.
And 3, 2, 1. Oh!
Hey, that was a good one. Still going.
Whoa!
Yeah! That was the best one so far.
Potassium definitely gives a bigger bang than sodium. So how can we resist a field test?
And our plan is to introduce potassium, which is far more reactive than sodium, into water in a metal pipe. Boom!
When we did the thing with the sodium, we used a chunk about the size of my thumb. This time we're going to be using a bunch of potassium, about this much.
That's 500 grams of pure potassium. The Mac myth was 1 gram of less reactive sodium.
Now he's pushing the mortar up against the wall so that the only place the energy can go is right at that wall.
MacGyver never had it so good.
This is for love, money, and science. 500 grams of potassium. 3, 2, 1. Wow!
Well, that didn't make us wait.
It's a great show, but the wall hasn't budged.
MacGyver, my brother, my compadre, we have to take him down on this one.
We've sidestepped this result for far too long. It's absolutely, positively busted. But Jamie and Adam still have a wall to bring down.
We came here to get a hole in the wall, and darn it, we're going to get a hole in the wall. When in doubt, C4.
The great thing about working with JD is that when we said we want a hole in the wall, all he says is, how big?
JB rolls out the wire and sets the charge. This is how you unbuild a wall.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, that whole wall went away.
I think the wall might be gone. Sorry about that.
The wall is rubble, but Buster MacGyver is still sitting pretty.
It knocked MacGyver's mullet right off his head.
But not the stash.
It's pretty definitive what it takes to get through a wall. And the alkaline metals just ain't it. So, how did MacGyver do? Well, I'll tell you what I love about him is that his basic premise that alkaline metals are reactive with water is sound.
Yeah, but the idea that you can use them to blow a hole in the wall, totally busted.
Busted. Busted. We had so much fun doing the MacGyver episode, we made way too much material for one show. If you want to see the extra stuff, log on to discovery.com/MythBusters and see the other things we did.
After the break, the biggest day in aviation since Kitty Hawk.
It's working!
Of course it's working. Everything I make works.
Will this bamboo Boeing soar like an eagle or drop like a dodo? In this, our 100th episode, Tori, Carrie, and Grant have finished one of the great backyard builds of all time. They've made their own airplane.
I'm not flying economy anymore.
In tribute to kindred spirit Angus MacGyver. Now they need a place to launch it, and Tykert Aggregates has graciously supplied the runway and the cliff. This is a working quarry. A quarry that has one perfectly perilous 150-foot drop.
I am elated. I cannot believe we found such a perfect location. A flat road to a sheer drop-off, just like in the MacGyver clip. So excited to finally do this myth. This is my new favorite myth to do.
So they're almost ready to push this thing off a cliff as high as a 15-story building. MacGyver would be proud as punch.
Welcome to MythBusters. We are proud to say that we have a 100% crash rate. I'm sure you remember brace position. I'm scarred for life. Then we had jet taxi, where a small aircraft got blown by a 747 engine 100 feet down a runway and over end. This might be the first MythBusters safe landing. Or It might not.
Okay, we all know that history is often more instructive than inspirational. And that prompts Grant to one last try.
Where are the seatbelts?
With Carrie and Tori as human ballast, he'll test the engine one more time. Grant checks his remote responses.
MacGyver to tower. Are we free for takeoff?
Clear prop.
Ooh, we're gonna die. Hold on tight. This could be really good or really, really bad.
It's highly unlikely they'll take off, but they are ready to roll. 12 seconds later, Grant cuts the engine. It's a total success.
We did it! We weren't going fast enough to get lift.
Yeah.
But if we get going fast enough to get off that cliff, we might actually get flight.
Oh my God! We MacGyvered it! We MacGyvered it!
They sure did. Now Buster and his partner in pain get taped into the cockpit.
Ah, there we go.
Nice.
All right.
We're just minutes away from the launch. Hopes are high, but predictions are predictably mixed.
I actually think there is a fair chance that we'll be able to get some sort of sustained flight.
I think this thing is going to go down the runway, get to the edge of the cliff, go off, but I'm afraid it's just going to fall flat and crash.
I have gone back and forth between it's gonna fly and it's not gonna fly.
That's a definite maybe from Carrie, and a fair assessment of their chances. Tori starts the engine, removes the chocks, and runs for cover.
Run, run!
4 days' work, and MacGyver's reputation will be junked or justified in the next 5 seconds.
That was sick! It almost had flight!
It went like this.
Oh, just wasn't fast enough.
You know what, though? That did way better than I thought it was going to do. It actually kind of glided down until it crashed.
If that's a glide, I'd hate to see a plummet. There was just enough power to keep the 3 wheels airborne, but the tail looked more like a vertical plow. On a brighter note, Mac's passenger would have forgotten all about his broken leg.
I think MacGyver and his bamboo ultralight is busted.
Sadly, but true.
Busted.
Now who's gonna go get all that stuff?
Well, you make the mess, you clean it up. It's an ugly ending, but things could have been a whole lot worse. There were times when they all considered flying the plane themselves.
Good news, I found the black box. It says we crashed.
But Carrie's determined to serve this disaster sunny side up.
The wings didn't fall apart. The frame basically stayed together. All of the elements worked. It's just it wasn't meant to fly.
So true, and so busted. Still to come, Jamie and Adam face the MacGyver challenge.
Wish I remembered high school chemistry.
It's fast, furious, and frustrating as hell.
Make it upright!
So, what are we looking at?
Well, the other team sent us this disc and said we have to watch it.
Okay.
All right, Jamie and Adam, we've come up with a few challenges for you two to do to see if you guys are undercover MacGyvers.
You're gonna need all of your ingenuity and experience for this one, and we're not gonna tell you the challenges.
That's right, because MacGyver never knew the challenges either. So, all you get to do is think on your feet and use whatever you have around you, because that's what MacGyver does.
Works for me.
This time, the MythBusters roles are reversed. They won't contest the myths, they'll defend them, reaching deep inside to find their inner MacGyver. It's a cunning 4-tiered challenge that begins with a breakout and ends, hopefully, with a helicopter rescue from this makeshift enemy campsite. But the villains aren't home right now. They're building the jail that Adam and Jamie have to escape from.
Now, I voted for the island with the volcano in the middle, but apparently that was too expensive.
No kidding. But this 2-room prefab prison is very MacGyver.
Now you can have your own evil lair in a matter of hours with our instant evil lair kit. It's so easy.
And the first challenge is to get from room 1 to room 2.
Now, what MacGyver did was smash the light bulbs and use the filaments to pick the lock. He did it in 52 seconds. We're giving the boys 1 hour.
Who do you think you're messing with, huh?
Yeah.
A couple of amateurs? Be smart, boys. Don't try to escape.
Lock the door, okay?
With cameras and walkie-talkies in place, Tori and Grant call the shots from their bad guy van.
All right, you have 1 hour.
To get out of the room.
Oh, good
rope tying.
Shut up. Well, let's see what we got.
And there's worse news to come for the villains in the van. It's taken Jamie 2 seconds flat to get his first bright idea.
You've got to use the filaments from these light bulbs to pick that lock. The issue is going to be one of being able to actually insert this in and push up the pins. This wire is actually a little too fat, I think.
You could use one boot against the other if you took your shoes off.
Yes, that's true.
Look at that. He's using a steel toe in his boot as a hammer and anvil to flatten the filament so it'll fit into the keyhole.
Mind if I take a stab at this?
Go for it.
Well, Adam's got the filaments, and he has lockpick experience.
Should we just pump in the nerve gas now?
There's no need to play rough just yet. Our 2 mock MacGyvers might well have remembered the light bulb stunt from TV. That doesn't necessarily make them smart, and it sure doesn't mean they can pick this lock.
You want to give it a shot?
After a few minutes, Adam hands over to Jamie.
Currently, they're at 12 minutes. It took MacGyver 52 seconds. It seems that the filaments are a little bit too big to fit in the lock.
Starting to get into the psychology of this lock.
And this is one deeply troubled doorknob. The doctors talk tactics.
Any of these tumblers have to go up or down, right?
Everything has to go up. It's just a matter of how much.
Oh, okay.
They swap again, hoping Adam's misspent youth might finally prove an asset.
I like that they're tag teaming. When one gets tired, then the other one picks up.
But time is fast running out.
10 minutes left.
Tell you what, if I get it to turn, I'm kicking the door down.
But it looks like Adam can afford to spare those steel caps.
I got it.
No way.
That's a successful pick. Let's hope I'm turning it in the right direction.
Way to go there, buddy.
Challenge number 1, no challenge at all.
Now the second test, they have to develop a roll of film with directions to the camp with only orange juice and ammonia. Are they going to be able to do that? I highly doubt it.
That's because there's so much more in this pretend pantry than just OJ and ammonia. The boys have to choose 2 common kitchen liquids that also work as film developers and fixers. They're welcome to drink the rest.
That was out all night.
How good's your film chemistry?
Well, I see there's baking soda over there. We got some basic chemicals. We got something that's acidic.
Look, he's going for the orange juice.
We got ammonia. Yes, there's ammonia.
Oh, he's already got the ammonia!
And you know what? We're going to need a dark room. And
garbage bags.
Garbage bags ought to do that.
Oh, that was easy. Why don't we just give him a dark room?
Because that would also be far too expensive and not nearly as much fun.
The question is, what's the chemistry of developing film?
Now, here's a moment you'll want to savor. Turns out Adam once had a job as a film processor.
I've used film chemicals.
He knows they'll need acids and bases, but he can't recall which one is the developer.
Are they alkaline?
No, they're acidic, because you have to wear rubber gloves to develop film.
Well, alkaline would cause that reaction as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Their first best guess is a bath in baking soda with a water rinse.
All right, I've got the film. It's in my hand.
I don't know that you're going to be able to tear that, are you?
Actually, when I was a film projectionist, I believe you can. Hold on. Yep.
Yes, you heard right. Adam also worked as a projectionist. And a fat lot of good that's doing.
All right, I'm dipping it into the solution now, and I'm moving it around inside the baking soda slurry. Wish I remembered high school chemistry.
Oh, there's a phrase you'd never hear from MacGyver. And he'd probably give the film more than 2 minutes to develop.
Is that just the leader, or?
Yeah, it is, but I mean, I should be getting something off of it, and I'm not.
The unfortunate thing is that they've got less than half an hour left, and by our estimate, it should take 10 minutes in the developer before you then wash it and fix it. They are running really short on time.
To properly develop those campsite directions inside the allotted hour, they need to make the right choice right now. Adam digs deep to remember details from the old days.
There was a couple of chemical baths, and then you rinsed the thing off in water. I don't remember what the chemical baths were, but I believe it was a 3-step process. 1 bath, and the second bath, then the rinse.
Did they just figure that out? Dang it! How did I know?
Well, maybe they don't. With 12 minutes remaining, Adam and Jamie cut the film roll in 2, soaking 1 half in ammonia and the other in orange juice.
We're running out of time, so we're hedging our bets. We've got half the film in an acid, we've got half the film in a base.
Time is almost up, so they'll dunk each roll of film in the alternate bowl to arrest any possible development.
So now I'm going to pull the film from one and put it in the other, and vice versa.
Yeah.
The OJ to ammonia shuffle might work, so long as they don't let the light in too soon.
All right, you want to pour some water in 2 of those coffee cups for me? No. We got nothings. Nothings.
They can't just wash it in water.
All right, you guys.
It's been an hour and you haven't done it. I'm sorry, but you failed.
At least they're having fun.
You guys were close, though, in developing that film. The way you're supposed to do it, you stick it in the orange juice for 10 minutes, and then you put it in the ammonia as a fixer.
But you gotta keep it all in the bag the entire time. If it gets exposed to any light, it doesn't work.
Oh, the one thing that we didn't try.
Adam knows that ultimate success all depends on just where your head's at, or at least what's in it.
The problem with me is that I know all the lyrics from every song from the 70s, and there's no more room in here.
Let's hope he remembers the words to Peter Frampton's Show Me the Way, because next up, they need to make a compass from scratch, and then negotiate a spectacular MacGyver-style rescue.
That's all we can do. I hope they saw us.
Adam and Janie are halfway through their 4-part MacGyver challenge. So far, the good guys and the bad guys are all squared up at one apiece. Just so this great escape doesn't come to a grinding halt, Tori and Grant deliver the vital campsite directions our MacGyver wannabes failed to find on the film.
Dude, it's a clue.
All right, you have 1
Hour to complete your task, boys.
Don't forget your compass and don't get lost.
Well,
I
you
think
need to make a compass, don't we?
I think we do.
Right on, Janie. And the first thing you need to make a compass is a magnetized piece of metal. Adam wastes no time building an electromagnet from batteries, tape, and insulated wire.
Jamie has taken apart the cheese grater, and Adam's using that to shave off the insulation.
Truly inspired. The boys know they can magnetize a paperclip by repeatedly passing it over another large magnet.
They're acting like they've done this before.
They might have.
I think they may have.
I think this is all you have to do to magnetize it.
I'm pretty sure it'll work.
Oh, that's starting to heat up.
Oh, right, yeah, because I'm short-circuiting. Oh, wow.
Damn it!
That's a very good sign. Once the clip is stuck in a cork and floated in water, it should point magnetic north. And it does.
Nice. We were able to wrap wire around the screw and attach it to the batteries, and when you do that with electricity, run it through a wire that's wrapped around an iron or metal core, you get a magnet. And that puppy pointed north, really nice and true. That's north, that's west. We want to go northwest, which is whoopah, that way. 200 paces. There we go.
The compass seems to be working, and so far, our likely lads are well inside the time limit. While the scoundrels practice their semaphore, Adam, Janie, and their entourage are more or less headed for home.
99, 200. Okay, this is 200 paces northwest, and there's nothing here, no secret compartment. However, a cursory glance around shows a tarp over there. I think that is our secret campsite.
Seems the compass isn't perfect, but it's good enough.
We found a secret campsite with a mechanical compass we made ourselves.
It's hard to miss a blue tent in a green field. So in less than 30 minutes, it's 2-1 to the MacGyver good guys.
Congratulations, you guys. You made the compass.
And you found our campsite. You completed test number 3. Now it's on to test number 4.
There's no way they're gonna pass this last one.
Then we've got to signal this plane, this helicopter, at 3 o'clock.
In true MacGyver style, Adam and Jamie have to contrive some sort of rescue signal that flies at least 100 feet high. And they can only use what they find in the campsite. Grant and Tori have already planted all the fixings for a potato cannon. The fuel is hairspray, ignition comes from the camp stove, potatoes are plentiful, and PVC pipe should make a perfect mortar.
The main thing that hits me is that it's windy and there's the components for a kite here. A rather large one even.
It's the last thing the bad guys expected.
That's a kite. They're building a big giant kite. That wasn't the plan, but I like it.
There's your tail.
Yeah, I think they're using the original rope we tied them up with for a tail.
Building the kite takes no time at all. But getting it up is sucking away the minutes.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
No. No. Make it upright.
Jamie is trying to hold it in place to catch some air, but it's just a big sail out there.
You know, they only have 10 minutes left. They have their kite built, but they haven't been able to get it off the ground.
Time is running out. I hope they get it up. Oh my God! It's up! Come on! Go down! Come on!
Grant's not sure which side he's batting for, but Tori's determined to be there for the kill.
All right, I'm gonna go get in the chopper. If they can't get that up to 100 feet and I don't see it in the chopper, I'm not rescuing them. All right. And we got liftoff.
Jamie and Adam have one last shot at a miraculous MacGyver-esque rescue.
And we got like 2 minutes to go. You ready for another flight?
Yeah, we gotta get it up there.
Get me over there.
Going this way doesn't help.
Right now they're struggling with the kite. It's still on the ground. They need to get it to at least 100 feet.
None too soon, it's airborne.
At about 20 feet.
Finally, right on time, the tent kite flies just as high as the chopper.
You know what? I'm gonna call it. There it is. There's the signal. That kite has reached 100 feet. We've seen the signal. Let's land this chopper and rescue our boys.
That was it. That's all we can do. I hope they saw us.
They did see you, and good sports that they are, they don't want to kill you.
Hey, how do you like that?
You did it! Good job, you guys. You've been rescued.
Awesome.
Get out of here.
Get to the chopper.
We were just about 100 feet, and the kite was right there next to us. That's beautiful. I cannot believe they got it up that high.
We were trying to direct them to make a potato gun, and they went around the backside and made a kite, and they signaled a chopper. Those guys, they're good. They are good.
MacGyver 1, MythBusters 3.
But a win for the boys really is a victory for MacGyver as well. We finally proved that some of Mac's exploits aren't so far-fetched. And for once, in this, our 100th episode, we can safely say you can try this at home. Just be real careful with the helicopter.
Jamie, you have no idea how many fans have emailed us about doing a MacGyver episode.
Yeah, we take fan requests very seriously.
You're right, so seriously, in fact, we're doing another viewer special, all myths of your ideas.
So if you got an idea you want us to try, log on to www.discovery.com/mythbusters and let us know what you'd like us to test on the show.